If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
So again, I'm requesting everybody to create fresh new Hotmail or Outlook or any live account. Microsoft strongly recommend to use fresh personal account or Outlook account or Hotmail account to get Azure sponsorship subscription. So we will try to redeem Microsoft Azure promo code using that newly created Outlook or Hotmail or live account. And we will get $100 credits for 30 days to practice all the hands-on labs of AZ 900 course or DP 900 course or DP 203 course. You can all practice for next 1 month.
Sukriti, just one question. Can I use my Gmail account? I have a freshly created Gmail account actually.
Freshly created Gmail, then fine. Yeah, no worries. But I think Microsoft will ask you to convert your Gmail account into Microsoft account, and then they will consider that as a Microsoft account. So I think you have to convert your Gmail as Microsoft account.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, that is only the way. So I think when you subscribe or when you redeem that promo code using that Gmail account, and when you sign up, I think during that sign up process, they will convert your account to Microsoft account. Yeah. Okay.
So, get one question.
Yeah.
At the time of registration, as your registration, are they asking for the any debit card or credit card?
No.
Correct. For AWS, they are asking for credit card.
They are asking for personal authentication actually, but here we are going to get Azure sponsorship subscription actually.
Okay.
So that subscription don't require any credit card. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So Microsoft welcomes you. Thank you for joining us today. And I, as a certified trainer, we wish you a great learning experience and ongoing career success. Course, before we start our course introduction, this is me. My name is Suketu Nayak. I have 18 years of experience. I have 22 plus Azure certifications. I'm Microsoft certified trainer. I awarded as a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. I awarded as a Azure Master. And since last 8 years, I'm delivering Microsoft Azure trainings across the globe to large enterprises. And TCS, I deliver 25 plus classroom as well as virtual instructor led sessions. So this is your instructor. I'm going to teach you AZ 900, DP 900, and DP 203, all three courses, which is actually Microsoft Azure Data Engineering certification tracks, I can say like that. So we welcome you, and class hours, as you all know this information in your email invitations and everywhere, and even in that LMS portal also, is 8:30 to 1:30, and we will have breaks in between accordingly. And all the facilities are not applicable because this is not a classroom session, but the facilities which is applicable in virtual instructor sessions that we will plan accordingly. This course is actually providing you foundational level knowledge on cloud concepts. So this is Azure fundamental course actually. In Azure fundamental course, anyone can attend. There is no hard prerequisite or strict prerequisite of the same. But it would be great if you are from IT background, you know basics, very basics of compute, storage, networking, you know, or basics about IT. That is, I think, sufficient. Otherwise, audience of this course can be just beginning to learn about the cloud computing or how Microsoft Azure providing that all the services and solutions. They can go for this certification course. In this course, I am going to cover 3 learning paths. And after each learning path, each module, I will also share with you some self-paced Microsoft learning path. So post-training hours, whenever you want to refer this modules which we covered, that you can refer, right? So that learning path, self-paced Microsoft learning path, which I will share with you lesson-wise, module-wise, that will definitely exactly map with my delivery of this content during the class hours. All right. So we are going to cover cloud concept, Azure architecture and services, Azure management and governance. So actually, AZ900 certification course is revised from Microsoft many times. I can say 5 or 6 times they revise this content, right? So they are actually trying to map this entire course to the exam of AZ900, which is Microsoft Azure Fundamental Certification course. And before this last revision of this course, there were 6 modules, but now they completely revised this course in a March month only. And they are having this 3 study area, which is having 3 learning path, 3 modules. And each learning path having equal weightage almost, right? So the percentages are actually indicating how or more questions you will get from that area. So more the percentage, more questions you will likely to get in your exam or in your AC900 certification. So Azure architecture and services having little high weightage, just for your information. Yes, using this Microsoft Azure Pass.com, we are going to redeem the Azure promo code. And I will share that Azure promo code with you when everybody confirm. You created fresh Hotmail or Outlook or any live account. When you confirm, I will share this promo codes and I will also share the sign up process, right? But you have to be very careful and you have to follow my instructions very carefully because every participant will get only one Azure promo code. So we just have to make sure we will not lose it, somehow. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for us to do all the hands-on labs, and then we have to go for Azure free trial subscriptions or something else. So I don't want you to do that. So please be careful. Please follow my instructions very carefully. Use incognito browser, right? First thing, use open internet connectivity. Use with your internet connectivity without any complex firewall or proxy. If you have any VPN connectivity, please disconnect. Or it would be great if you can use your personal computers. That is recommended without any restrictions. And when you redeem the Azure promo code, use incognito browser. And in incognito browser, you have to follow this guidelines to redeem your Azure account. You have to sign in using your newly created fresh Hotmail or Outlook account, which you created today itself. Sign in, then you provide the promo code, redeem that promo code. When you redeem the promo code, that promo code will be associated with that email ID. And once that promo code is associated with that email ID, you cannot detach it. Right? So please double check. Before you redeem your promo code, double check your email ID, whether it is the newly created Microsoft personal account or not. If it is newly created account, then only click on redeem button. Right? After that, simple sign up page will come where you have to provide your first name, last name, your organization name, your contact number for maybe OTP verification, your country, right? Your address line 1, your city, state, very basic sign up process. And there is no need to provide any credit card details here, right? And if we successfully complete the sign up process, redemption process, you will get around $100 of credits for 1 month. All right, so I'm sharing this URL just for your reference. Keep it with you, and when you all set for with your newly created Azure account, right? Oh, sorry, your newly created Hotmail or Outlook account, then I will guide you how you can redeem this Azure promo code. All right, so let us jump into AZ900 module number 1, cloud consent. Here is my learning path outline, where those who are new to cloud computing, for them, in this module, I'm going to cover cloud computing fundamental, cloud benefits, and different cloud services types. Cloud computing. So in this lesson, first of all, I will talk about cloud computing. Then I'll describe share responsibility model as a customer you and as a cloud computing service provider, Microsoft. So how is your share responsibility model look like? That we will discuss. Then I will define cloud models, including public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud. We will also identify appropriate use cases for each cloud model. I will also describe the consumption-based model, and then we will compare cloud pricing models. So, first question, when you start learning any cloud computing service provider like Microsoft Azure, the first question should be in your mind, that is, what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is actually the delivery of computing services over internet. So there are some infrastructure, some server racks, storage racks, everything is there somewhere on the internet. And you are actually accessing their services, either using any software defined network technology, right, or any other management tools. So cloud computing is actually delivery of computing services over internet, right? And computing services include some common IT infrastructure like virtual machines, like your storage, database, networking. These are all services. And cloud services also expand the traditional IT offerings to include things like IoT, machine learning, data engineering, AI, right? And because of the cloud computing uses the internet to deliver these services, it does not have to be constrained by physical infrastructure the same way that a traditional data center is. That means if you need to increase your IT infrastructure rapidly, for example, you have a lot of traffic which is coming to your resources, and you want to increase your infrastructure rapidly, quickly, so you don't have to wait to build a new data center, right? You can use the cloud to rapidly expand your IT footprint, right? That is called scalability, elasticity. There are many cloud terms out there, which is there. So cloud computing is actually the services which I told you, which you can access over internet, and which will enable fast innovation, flexible resources. You will have economies of scale. Means you are not going to spend capital expenditure much in this case when you are actually accessing or using these all services from some cloud computing service provider. So cloud computing is actually a model, I can say, which is enabling on-demand access to your share pool of configuration computing resources like server, network, storage, applications, app services, other database services, blah blah blah. And you can use this all with your convenience, with on-demand. You will have on-demand network access. Quickly, rapidly, you can provision the services. Even you can release the services quickly, with a very less management overhead, very less management effort. So in a share responsibility model, you can see this share responsibility model. You may heard of this share responsibility model, but you may not understand what it means or how it impacts cloud computing, right? So if you see these four graphs, I can say, this is on-premises, this is infrastructure as a services, platform as a services, software as a services, and these are all responsibilities. So if you have a sky blue color, which is Microsoft's responsibility, dark blue color, which is customer, and then this is share. This is Microsoft's and customer. Both are responsible for this. So if you start with the on-premises, which is traditional corporate data center, I can say, which is in our own data center or in our own server rooms, our own corporate data center. Company or your organization is responsible for maintaining all your physical space, security, maintaining or replacing the server. If anything happening to that, everything is your responsibility. And IT department is actually responsible for maintaining all this infrastructure. IT department is responsible for all the software needed to keep your all the data center up and running 24/7. They are also responsible for keeping all the system patch up to date, on the correct version also. But with share responsibility model, this responsibility get shared between you as a consumer and your cloud computing service provider like Microsoft. Like physical security, power supply, cooling, network connectivity. These are all responsibility of your cloud computing service provider, those who are having their own data centers or regions. And consumer is not co-located with the data center, right? So it would not make sense for the consumer to have any of those responsibilities, of course, right? That is definitely a responsibility of your cloud computing service provider, right? This one. And at the same time, your consumer, client like we are the consumer of Microsoft Azure. So we are responsible for the data and information, which is stored in the cloud, or what applications we want to host or deploy in the cloud, right? What resources we need accordingly. And consumer is also responsible for access, to whom I want to give access, identity and access management, I can say, right? Or security, access security, I can say. So you only give access to those who need it actually in your team. So that is your responsibility. And then for some things, responsibility depends on the situation also. If you are using, let's say, cloud SQL database, you have Azure SQL database, for example, then cloud provider will be responsible for the maintaining the actual database. But you are still responsible for the data, whatever for example, you have some applications, web applications, mobile applications, they're all ingesting the data into database, right? So definitely you as a customer is responsible for the data that is get ingested into that SQL database, right? Or for example, let's say you deploy virtual machine in Azure VM, and then you install SQL database on that. That is infrastructure as a service. So you will be responsible for the database patches, update, as well as maintaining your data information which is stored in the database, right? But if you are using managed SQL database service, which comes under platform as a services, then you are only responsible for this, right? And this one is your share responsibility, and this is the responsibility which is taken care by Microsoft Azure as a cloud computing service provider. So initially, everybody having on-premises data center, right? With the on-premises data center, actually, you are responsible for everything, as I told you. For cloud, with cloud computing, actually, you are shifting your responsibilities, right? If you are going towards infrastructure as services, platform as a services, software as a services, you are moving toward cloud, and you are actually start provisioning the services like IaaS or PaaS, or you are integrating SaaS services with your applications, with your modern cloud applications, right? With your infrastructure, with your applications. If you're integrating these, that means you are slowly you are shifting these responsibilities, right? So this share responsibility model is actually heavily tied into the cloud services types. What types you are using? Infrastructure as a services, platform as a services, software as a services. Accordingly, responsibilities are tied up with that. Make sense, everybody? And infrastructure as a services actually places the most responsibility on the consumer. If you see this, let me clean this. Infrastructure as a services, like virtual machine is a great example of infrastructure as a service. So you have more services toward customer like you, right? And with cloud provider, which is responsible for basics of your physical security in the data center, power supply and connectivity, right? And on other end of the spectrum, software as a services actually places most of the responsibility with the cloud provider. Right? And in platform as a services means managed services. Managed services from Microsoft, which is being a middle ground between infrastructure as a services and software as a services, which rests somewhere in the middle and evenly distributes your responsibility between the cloud provider and your consumer, of course. So you can see this diagram and it will get you a clear idea about that model which I'm talking about, right? But see, cloud computing service provider like Microsoft, they are always responsible for physical data center, right? Like Microsoft Azure having 60+ regions across the globe. They are responsible for physical data center. They are responsible for physical network. They are responsible for physical cost. Even you go for infrastructure as a services, you deploy platform as a services, some managed services, or you are using software as a services, SaaS. And your service model will determine responsibility for things like operating system, like network controls, like applications, identity, and infrastructure. Now, let us understand this term called private cloud. First of all, we should understand what is cloud models. Cloud model define the deployment type of cloud resources. So basically, three main types are there. I just want to highlight with you. One is a private cloud. Second one is a public cloud. And third one is your hybrid cloud, I can say. Now, if you talk about private cloud is in some way, it is like natural evolution from a corporate data center. So it is actually cloud that is used by single entity. The entity or organization, those who own that corporate data center. It is not shared among multiple entities. And private cloud actually providing you more control more control for that company and all that IT department which is relevant to that company, right? And it also comes with a greater cost, definitely, and it also having some fewer of the benefit of the public cloud deployment as well. So private cloud actually hosted from your on-site data center. It may also be hosted in your dedicated data center offsite, or potentially even by third-party service providers are also there. Those who are also maintaining private data center for you, right? There are some third-party entities are also there. They are also having some dedicated data center for your company to your company. And your company is actually responsible for all the operating of all the services in the private cloud. And any user who is outside of your company, outside of your organization, definitely that user will not have any access. But in public cloud, like AWS, like GCP, like Alibaba Cloud, like IBM Cloud, like Microsoft Cloud, Azure, public cloud is actually built, which is controlled, maintained by third-party cloud provider, like Microsoft in our case. And with public cloud, anyone that they want to purchase cloud services, they can access, they can use the resources from cloud computing service provider like Microsoft Azure. I can create any resources in Microsoft Azure portal. Like if I need virtual machine, I need my virtual network, I need my storage account, I need my SQL database, I need my load balancer, my web app, any app services or anything like that, or any data engineering services like Synapse Analytics or Azure Databricks. So anybody can purchase the cloud services in a pay-as-you-go model. And this general public availability is actually key difference between public and private cloud. This is the key difference. Otherwise both are same. Ultimately, it's a data center, but the public availability is actually the main point in public cloud. Right? So it is providing you resources, services to multiple organizations, multiple users, right? And definitely we can use these all services using proper management tools. Like in our case, Azure portal is there, Azure PowerShell command is there, Azure CLI bash command is there, ARM templates, different REST APIs, SDKs, multiple management tools are there to work with the services offering by Azure, to deploy the services, right? Multiple management tools are there. That I'll slowly give you idea about that. I will demonstrate also. Third one, which is actually interesting, very interesting. Hybrid cloud model. Hybrid cloud is actually computing environment that uses both public and private cloud in an interconnected environment. You know, this interconnection is actually very interesting. Term. Let's say you have virtual network in Microsoft Azure cloud. You have this your own Azure virtual network, and you have all the, let's say, hundreds of virtual machines, web servers, application servers, data servers, whatever you have. Right? And also you have your private cloud on premises. I can draw here. Let's say this is your on premises local network in simple term, right? So everybody actually, as I deliver a lot of trainings across the globe to large enterprises, everybody actually start with the hybrid cloud, honestly. Those who are having on-premises private cloud, those who are having on-premises applications deployment, and they have their on-premises Windows Active Directory servers and file servers, data servers, and everything they have, storage and everything. They slowly start migrating the applications and data, or I can say lifting and shifting the on-premises workload to Microsoft Azure cloud. They start with the hybrid networking actually like this. So they are extending their on-premises data center. They're extending their on-premises data center using hybrid cloud, hybrid networking, I can say. And we have many options. Just for your understanding, we have a site-to-site connectivity, site-to-site connectivity. That is actually IP security protocol tunnel, I can say, technically. So you can have either site-to-site connectivity, or which is very popular among enterprises. Everybody prefer to use this. It is called express route. I don't know how many of you heard this, but express route is actually border gateway BGP protocol tunnel. It's a dedicated tunnel, I can say. Dedicated tunnel between your on-premises data centers to Azure cloud. And there are so many express route connectivity providers are available, like AT&T, Tata Communication, Vodafone, Verizon. Many express route connectivity providers are available across the globe. They are having express route connectivity provider by Microsoft. So you can select any of these express route connectivity provider. They will give you up to 100 Gbps tunnel, dedicated tunnel for your hybrid networking. Make sense, everybody? Clear? Or sometimes you are accessing this Azure virtual network and that all resources from your remote employee machines or laptops, right? From your if you're working from home, nowadays we're all working remotely anywhere, the client location or from the home or from anywhere. You can access these all cloud resources because point to site connectivity. It is different type of hybrid networking options. And this is actually SSTP protocol. SSTP, Secure Socket Tunnel Protocol. So from your remote employee laptops, company provided laptops, your personal computers, desktops, you can access your cloud resources. So these are all different hybrid networking options are there. I just want to introduce to you because I'm talking about hybrid cloud right now. So that is, so hybrid cloud is actually computing environment that uses both public and private cloud, as I told you. They're interconnected environment, and hybrid cloud environment can be used to allow private cloud to search for increase temporary demand by deploying public cloud resources. Hybrid cloud also can be used to provide you an extra layer of security, right? And user are flexible. They can choose which services to keep in public cloud, which services they want to keep in private cloud. So that is, user are also very flexible with these models. Okay. So definitely in a public cloud, there is no capital expenditure to scale up. If you want to scale up, if you want to scale out, no capital expenditure in public cloud, right? And in public cloud, definitely applications can be quickly provisioned and quickly deprovisioned also, right? Because the Azure Fabric controller behind the scene, which is taking care of your provisioning, deprovisioning, your resources, your services in the server stamp, in the storage stamp, and everywhere in the infrastructure in the data center. And organizations like company, like your company, like our companies, we are only paying for what we are using. It is called pay as you go model. So this is public cloud is definitely pay as you go model. That is called operational expenditure. It is not a capital expenditure. We are not going to spend money on hardware, infrastructure, cooling capability, networking, the servers and storage and these all networking equipments, virtualization equipments, blah, blah, blah. No, we are not going to spend anything. We are only going to pay for what resources we use, what services we consume, and for what amount of time we use the scalability, right? For example, I have some application, right? And that application I deployed in some virtual machine, let's say in Azure, right? And this virtual machine having CPU, 2 virtual CPU core, and 3.5 GB RAM, for example, you have, right? And you deployed some applications here. Okay, you have some applications. And user traffic is coming here and everything. And now slowly you are becoming popular. Your product is becoming popular. More traffic is coming. Global traffic is coming. Then you have 2 options actually: scale up and scale down. That means you can change the size of this virtual machine from 2 virtual CPU core to 4 CPU core, 8 CPU core, 16 CPU core, 32 CPU core, right? 7 GB RAM, 14 GB RAM, 128 GB RAM, 500 GB RAM. You can scale up actually. You are adding more compute memory, you are moving towards more premium storage, which is having more IO operations per second per disk, right? So scale up, you can change the size of your VM, or you can change down. You can scale down also if you're not required. There is another term which is relevant to scalability that I just want to introduce to you, which is called scale out and scale in. Scale out means your traffic is coming, you start adding instances, second VM, third VM, 4 VM, 5 VM, 6 VM. And all the traffic is distributed among all this number of instances, which is dynamically added. That is called scale out. And when there is no traffic, again come back to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So couple of hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours a day, you are using scale out, you are adding more instances, you are only going to pay for it. What amount of resources you use, for what time you used, you're only going to pay for that. That is pay as you go model. Right? Make sense, everybody? Any questions? Hope everything is clear.
Suketu, can you just please explain the scale out and scale in once more, please?
Yeah, scale out is actually means you are adding number of instances. Let's say, for example, I have service. That service name is called Web App, Azure App Service. It is a platform as a service. Web App, Azure Web App. Where we can deploy, we can host our web applications or websites. Now, behind the scene, as it is managed service, the web server which is required to host your website, which is managed by Microsoft. Because we are not going to create our own virtual machine, because we are not deploying our application in infrastructure as a service. We are deploying in a PaaS. It is managed service from Microsoft. But servers are there behind. For you, it is a managed service, but behind for Microsoft, it is a web server. So in a web app, you have an option called auto scaling. Auto scaling, where either you can schedule the auto scale, you can schedule that auto scale. Can be morning 9 to 1. I want to scale out, and evening 5 to 7. Right? I want to scale out. So you can schedule the same also, or you can also define a rule on top of metrics. Some metric. Let's say very common metric is CPU uses. So you will consider, you will create some rule. If this web server's CPU is greater than 75%, that means there is a traffic. Then what Microsoft will do, it will scale out. That means it will start adding instances, VM instances for your web app like this. The first instance is already there, then second instance, third, 4, 5, like that, it is start adding the instances. And all the traffic which is coming to this web app will be distributed among these instances. That is called scale out. And when there is no traffic, and you already defined one rule, where CPU percentage or CPU uses average is less than 20, that means there is no traffic. Then it will start deprovisioning these instances and again coming back to 1. So let's say for 2 hours or 3 hours a day, you are using these 5 VM instances, you're only gonna pay for that. 24/7, you are not going to pay for these 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 web servers, which are most of the time underutilized. That is why this key characteristic of a Microsoft Azure Cloud is your scalability, elasticity. That is what I just want to explain. And scalability, elasticity is actually key characteristics of any cloud computing service provider. Right? Any question now?
No, Sukhet.
Fantastic, fantastic. Anybody having any question? All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. Like that, for private cloud, hardware must be purchased for startup and maintenance. And the companies, organizations have complete control over resources, security. As I told you, your company, your organization is responsible for all the hardware maintenance, update, patches, purchasing the VM, purchasing the storage, cooling capability, networking capability, everything, backup, restored, everything you are going to take care of that. Private, and you will have a great control over your data, your resources, your applications, which is there in the private cloud. Hybrid is a flexible, as I told you. Hybrid cloud is a flexible. What do you want to do? You want data server on premises, keep it on premises. You want your application server, file server, web applications you want only on Azure, keep it on Azure. Keep it on IBM cloud. Keep it on AWS cloud. And now completely trend is changed. Now, since last many years, I'm observing You have on-premises data center also. You have some resources on AWS also. You have some resources on Microsoft Azure Cloud also. You have some resources on GCP also, or you have hundreds of SaaS services are also you are having. So it is called multi-cloud, 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 and that is why in industries, enterprise integration technologies and skill set are in demand. Enterprise integrations, cloud integrations. This is in demand because everybody is using multi-cloud. The large companies, they are having infrastructure services in AWS. They love Microsoft Azure's managed services. They love analytics services from Google Cloud, and many SaaS services are there. Software as a services providers are there. They are integrating everything together, and that is called multi-cloud, which is actually a fourth cloud model, I can say, which is not there in our study, but I just want to share with you. Make sense? And as I told you, for private cloud, you have to spend money from your pocket. That is capital expenditure. But in operational expenditure is what you're only going to spend on the product or on the services which you need. It's a pay-as-you-go model. Like Microsoft Azure is providing you pay-as-you-go model, and you will get billed immediately after every monthly billing cycle. You will get that bill and everything pay-as-you-go, and then you have to pay for that. All right. Now, another interesting model which you should learn when you start your journey with any cloud or Microsoft Azure Cloud, it is called consumption-based model. Now see, consumption-based model actually brings with it many benefits, right? So cloud computing service providers like Microsoft Azure, they are operating on a consumption-based model nowadays, which means that end user like us, we are going to only pay for the resources we are using, and whatever we are using is what they pay for. So it is not like pay-as also. It is not like pay-as also, where whether your resources or whether your web application which you deployed in the web app, for example, the users are accessing it, users are not accessing it, but when you hosted it on cloud, you're going to pay for that. You are paying for that resources. But in consumption-based model, what happened? You have, let's say, your application code, which is deployed in Azure, in let's say function app. There is one service called function app, which comes under consumption-based model actually. So this particular application code, this particular business logic will trigger on top of your function app instance. On top of your function app instance. So when something trigger this, how it will trigger? Let me give you a very simple example. For example, you have some storage account and you are uploading some invoices here in storage account. This is your storage account. And you are uploading some invoices, for example. So when you're uploading invoices here, this is called blob storage trigger. So this blob storage trigger will execute this function app, and whatever the business logic, whatever the application code which is written by your developer team, that is got executed. And when that is got executed, this code got executed, it will process your invoices, or it will process your tender, or it will do some optical character recognition, or it will extract some key value data, or whatever logic you have. It will extract that information from that all uploaded invoices, and it will store that all data in SQL DB. structured manner. Make sense? So here, all the time you are not going to pay for this. When something trigger it, this code get executed for 1 second, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds. What amount of compute resources it got consumed? You are only gonna pay for that only. Make sense, everybody? Yes or no?
Yes.
That is consumption-based model. And now every cloud solution architects, those who are architecting solutions on Azure or any cloud, I can say, not Azure, or even data engineering architects, the data engineers like you, everybody prefer consumption-based model because it is a better cost prediction model, which is economical, of course. And individual resource, individual service wise, you're only gonna pay for that. And actual users, you are gonna pay. Actual users, you are only gonna pay for that. Clear? So this is the great model, which is every cloud computing service providers are there providing, which is true pay-as-you-go model. That is actually there, So if I want to put it in another way, like cloud computing is a way to rent compute power or storage from someone else's data center, and you can treat cloud resources like you would resources in your own data center. And like in your data center, when you are done using cloud resources, you give them back. You are going to pay only for what you use. So instead of maintaining CPU storage in your data center, you rent out them for the time that you need them. And cloud computing service provider like Azure, they will taking care of maintaining the underlying infrastructure for you. And that is why cloud helping you, enabling you to quickly solve your toughest business challenges, and it is bringing cutting edge solutions to your user. Cutting edge solution. This is great word. Cutting edge solutions it is providing you to you, and that cutting edge solutions we are going to cover in DP 203 certification course. Fantastic. And cloud having many benefits. I think already I covered many. But one more interesting term I will cover in this cloud benefit, which is high availability. That also you should understand. If you are planning for easy 900 exam specifically, this terms will help you. Let me actually first of all, sorry, yeah.
What is cutting edge solution?
Cutting edge means it is not a technical word, Debasis, honestly, but cutting edge technology like Synapse Analytics is a cutting edge technology. Like Microsoft Fabric, which is the new service which Microsoft announced recently. That is called cutting edge technology. Means it is a recent or latest solutions or services which is provided by cloud computing service provider to implement your modern cloud application. That is called cutting edge technologies, right? It is not like traditional monolithic way. It's a new way of providing services. That is called cutting edge technologies, or ChatGPT is called cutting edge, So this is the example. So it is called cutting edge. ChatGPT is definitely nowadays it is cutting edge.
Thank you.
All right. So if I talk about the high availability, this is very, very interesting term to understand. Everybody, please focus here. I will give you a very simple example. Let's say I have 10 web server or data server, 10 VM I want for my client. I'm implementing solution for my client TCS. And I'm going to deploy some web application for my TCS in the 10 virtual machines in Azure. And I want to achieve high availability. So if I want to achieve high availability, I have option called availability set. I can deploy these 10 virtual machines in availability set. So when I create availability set, I have to define 2 items, fault domain. Let's say, for example, I'll take 3. And one more item which I have to define called update domain. Update domain. Let's say, for example, I'll take 5. Now, let's say I have my client TCS, which is in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Mumbai, Delhi. So I will deploy this web server for my client in, let's say, East Asia region of Microsoft Azure Cloud, which is nothing but Hong Kong data center. Hong Kong data center. Hong Kong data center having 6 lakhs plus servers. Like this rack, they have this rack like this. VM rack. Every VM rack, every VM stamp having 40 to 50 virtual machine played. And this VM rack is technically called fault domain, FD0. This is your FD number 1. And this VM rack is FD number 2. Total, how many full domain we have selected? Yogesh, Gautam, Kajal, Kaushik, Payal, Vasu?
3.
Huh? 3.
3.
Right. We have selected 3. So we have 3 fault domain in East Asia region, and I started deployment of my virtual machine in the same availability set. So my first VM will be in this fault domain. My second VM in the same availability set will be here. Third VM will be here. Fourth VM will be here. Fifth VM, sixth VM, seventh VM, eighth VM, ninth VM, and this is my last 10th VM of my solution. I have total 10 VMs are distributed among 3 fault domain. FD0, FD1, FD2. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Now what happened? Why I did this? To achieve high availability. To achieve high availability. So if any unplanned maintenance is going on, any unplanned maintenance, or any hardware fails, cooling capability fails, network connectivity fails, any hardware device fails, for example, this rack having issue, then not your all the 10 virtual machines of your web server, of your production web applications are affected. 4 plus 3, 7 virtual machines are up and running for your user traffic until Microsoft is doing service healing of this VM into new rack. Your application is not down at all. It is not affecting your 100% user traffic. And this is how, by incorporating this availability set in your solution architecture, you can achieve high availability in unplanned maintenance. Make sense, Mayuk? Devashish?
Yes.
So this is about unplanned. Now, what about planned maintenance? Let's say I have how many update domain I selected?
5.
5. So UD0, UD1, UD3, and UD4. Total 5 update domain I have, right? So first virtual machine will be member of update domain 0. This machine will be member of update domain 1. This machine will be member of update domain 2, update domain 3. This VM will be member of update domain 4. Now all 5 completed. Now again start with the update domain 0. Update domain number 1. Right? Update domain number 2. This machine will be part of update domain number 3. And this machine will be part of again update domain number 4. So every update domain having 2, total 10 virtual machines are part of 5 update domains. Yes or no? Gautam?
Yes.
Now, if any plant maintenance required, any operating system upgrades or patches or security patches or anything, at a time, update domain 0 member machine will go for plant maintenance. Remaining 8 machines will be up and running for your user traffic. Like that, update domain 1 member machine will go for plant maintenance. After that, update 2 member machine will go for plant maintenance. After that, update 3 and last update 4 member machine will go for plant maintenance. Clear?
But one question here, like, is by any chance like the same updated domain will under same rack? Suppose
No,
updated.
rack is a different thing. Rack
No,
will
what?
be taken care by fault domain.
No, my question is like suppose updated domain 0 in FD0 and
Yes.
same updated 0 is in again FD0.
Yes.
So if the
yes.
FD0 is down,
FD0 is down, then update domain will not relationship with the FD and UD. See, these are two are not internally connected. If your FD is down, then your user traffic is not affected. Your user traffic is not affected because other 6 machines are available in other rack. For plant maintenance, update domains comes in the picture. It is not a combined. It is not, Microsoft is not giving you a guarantee if your all the update domains are in the same rack, which is technically not possible because Azure Fabric Controller is taking care of that. But if somehow all the update domains are in the FD0 and if FD0 goes down, then there is no responsibility. That doesn't come under high availability. High availability means if your rack fails, you have other racks where you have web server. And if you have plant maintenance, their update domain numbers are there. So both are not linked actually, Gautam.
Okay.
Both are independent. Both are independent, of course. We cannot link it. And Microsoft also not giving you any service level agreement by linking these two. Make sense? So conceptually at all, they are not linked with each other. So this is how you can achieve high availability. Like that, as I gave you example of scalability, elasticity, scale up, scale down, scale out, scale in. Clear? Correct, no? So these are also other cloud characteristics. Like that, we have reliability. We have manageability, like different management tools. Security, oh my God, it's a big topic, very big topic. A lot of Azure Active Directory comes into this picture, right? Azure Security Center will come in the picture, right? Azure Advisor comes into the picture. When you're talking about security monitoring will comes into the picture. Network security will come in the picture, right? DDoS protection will also come. Sentinel also come. It's a very big topic. But Microsoft definitely offering you many different security offerings, by which you can incorporate that in your solution to have secure deployed cloud applications, right? And of course, Microsoft Azure having many different governance offerings are also there, like Azure Policy. I'll show you that option, how Azure Policy, how tagging, or other governance consent, which actually help you to govern your resources when you are deploying it in Microsoft Azure Cloud. So these are all cloud benefit, or I can say cloud characteristics, which you should know about. Cloud service types.
One question.
Yeah.
High availability means if any server will be down or any domain will be down, without stopping the system, that application will be up and down.
Without affecting your user traffic. Without affecting your user traffic. Yeah, correct.
It will be up and down. Okay. Sorry, up and running.
Yes.
If here, what you have shown, if update domain 0 or update domain 1 will be down, okay, that means both sides it will be down, correct? UD 0 and
See,
UD1.
is update domain will never down. Fault domain will down. Update domain will never down. Why? Because update domain is actually logical grouping of your web server. And that logical group will allow, for example, I don't know how many participants I have, 23, 24 maybe, right? In this class, or 22. So I don't want to allow everybody of you to go for rest room right now. I'll go with Debasis, Basu, Mayuk, Kavali, you go rest room and then come. Other participants are with me. And then once you 4 come, then I'll allow now Kiran, Kaushik and Krutika, you go for the rest room. Like that, update domain will allow some percentage of your resources to go for plant maintenance. So it will never down, it will never up. Update domain does not have any relationship with up and down. It is a grouping actually. It is a logical grouping. Make sense?
Okay, fine. If then FD1, you have created FD0, FD1, FD2, correct?
Any virtual machine rack is down. Then all the 10 web servers are not part of a single fault domain. That is why all your 10 web servers are not down. Only 20 or 25 or 30% of web servers are down if any of the rack fail, until Microsoft is doing a service healing of that faulty rack virtual machines in a new rack under service level agreement. Make sense?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But if it is FD UD, okay, if UD0, both UD0s will be in same rack, means FD1, okay, it will be affected, correct?
If your two machines are in the same fault domain,
Correct.
then definitely two machines will be affected,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
Okay, that means it should be in different rack.
Right.
Correct?
That is,
Yes.
and that is how you can achieve high availability by
Correct.
deploying your 10 virtual machines in an availability set. If you are not deploying 10 VMs in availability set, means Microsoft may deploy that 10 VMs in a same fault domain. And if that fault domain having some outage or any unplanned maintenance is there, then all your client which are accessing your resources from these 10 web servers are affected. Clear, no?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Very good. Now I want to quickly explain you infrastructure as a services, platform as a services, software as a services, and I will give you appropriate use cases for each of the cloud services. So, if you talk about infrastructure as a services, infrastructure as a services is actually build pay-as-you-go IT infrastructure for you by you can renting the servers. So the great example of infrastructure as a service is called virtual machine. And this infrastructure as a service is actually a most basic cloud computing service category. Most basic, I can say. Right? Because it will provide you instant computing infrastructure. It will provide you provision computing infrastructure. But for example, let's say you are deploying virtual machine. And when you deploy a virtual machine, that virtual machine will come with the basic operating system installed. Now, that VM, if you are making that VM as a web server, data server, file server, or any server, DNS server or domain server or anything, you have to actually take care of the runtime environment, middleware on top of that. Make sense? You have to take care of runtime environment on top of that. That is your responsibility. So infrastructure as a services, or IaaS, I can say, is the most flexible category of cloud services, and it is providing you maximum amount of control for your cloud resources. That is in your hand, how you want to use that cloud resources. And in infrastructure as a services model, your cloud provider like Azure is responsible for maintaining the hardware, network connectivity, physical security for you, and you as a customer is responsible for everything else. Like your operating system installations, your configurations, maintenance, network configuration, database, storage configuration, runtime environment, middleware, data, application, access, so on. Everything which is your responsibility, correct? Means you are renting the hardware in cloud data center. But what you do with that hardware is up to you. That is called infrastructure as a service. So generally, when companies started migration, they start lifting and shifting migration, they prefer infrastructure as a services mostly. And then when they re-architect entire cloud solution, they go for managed services. When they re-hosting, when they re-architecting, they go for managed services. Second, platform as a services, which is very popular, service tier of Microsoft Azure Cloud, where platform as a services is actually a middle group between renting space in a data center and paying for a complete and deployed solution. So in a pairs, what happens? Cloud provider maintain the physical infrastructure, physical security, connection to the internet, everything. They also maintain the operating system, middleware, development tool, runtime environment, business intelligence services, everything that make up cloud solution. So you as a customer, you are not going to worry about any licensing, patching for operating system, for databases, for runtime environment, nothing. You're only take care about your business logic of your application, your data. Platform as a service is well suited to provide you a complete development environment without the headache of maintaining all the development infrastructure. Correct. Huh? So, for example, you have some development framework, for example. So platform as a service actually providing you framework that your developer community, your developers of your company can build upon and develop to customize cloud-based applications. Right? So this is the good example, like Microsoft Azure App Services. Azure App Services is a great example of platform as a service, which is managed services. So you focus on your web application, .NET, Java, PHP, Python, Ruby, Go, whatever web applications you are implementing, you focus on that. And then you deploy it on Azure App Service in Azure Web App. Everything else, including your .NET framework or whatever the runtime middleware which is required, that is taken care by Microsoft. And Microsoft also give you option to configure your scalability. What do you want? You want to scale up? Scale up. You want to scale out? Scale out. You want to auto scaling? Do auto scaling. That is up to you. Clear, everybody? And in a software as a services, SaaS is the most complete cloud service model from a product perspective. Full product, ready to use. You're essentially renting a fully developed application like email, like financial software, like messaging application, like connectivity software. Anything can be a SaaS, right? Hosted application, managed applications. Right? You just take care of the UI, branding, logo, your company logo, your access, user. That's it. Make sense? And you subscribe. Like email, messaging, business productivity applications, finance application, expense tracking application, anything can be a SaaS messaging applications. So this is the comparative slide between these three. Clear, everybody? And SaaS is actually true subscription-based model, subscription-based. You have to subscribe to that model actually. Correct, no? In our upcoming module, I will demonstrate this, infrastructure as a service and platform as a service. Both I will demonstrate. Now I have knowledge check for everybody. Right? I have quick knowledge check for everybody. And I want everybody of you to answer your questions. Answer your questions in chat window, right? That is also fine, so that we can avoid background noise. Yeah. Quickly, you can answer your question A1, 2, 3, or maybe A, B, C, whatever that you want to reply. Isha, Gautam, Rakesh, Sudhakar, Vasu. So delivery of only storage service or delivery of only website accessibility, like GoDaddy is also providing you website accessibility. So do we call it cloud computing? No, my friends. Correct, no? So that is not cloud computing. Cloud computing is actually a services, managed services like infrastructure as a services, platform as a services, software as a services, consumption-based model services over internet. You are accessing that services. That is cloud computing. So answer number 1 is absolutely right. Now, I want everybody of you to answer the question, please. All right. So hybrid cloud is the correct answer, everybody. Very good. Now check this. Everybody should answer. Everybody should attend. Replying in the chat window. Yeah. Rakesh, Prabal, Payal, Kaushik. Which cloud service type places the most responsibility on customer like us? Okay.
I think it's infrastructure as services, number one.
Very, very good. Very good. Very good. I think most of the answers are correct. Most of the participants' answers are correct. Fantastic. Which of these scaling means adding and removing resources like VM or containers to meet demand? Horizontal scaling, of course. Why? Because if you remember, I draw one diagram of, let's say, VM. So when you change the size of the VM, that is called scale up. This is called vertical. This is called vertical scaling. But when you adding the instances like this, if you remember, I draw this kind of diagram. That is called horizontally we are scaling out. That is called horizontal scaling. Makes sense? This is horizontal. This is vertical. Right, everybody?
Yes.
So horizontal scaling is the correct answer, which is called scale out. So technically, this one is called scale out. Scale out and scale in. Very good. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now check this quickly, everybody. Recover from failures and continue to function. Of course, reliability, right? Because predictability comes under resource provisioning predictability, cost predictability. Scalability means scale up, scale out. So recovery from any failure and continue to function your applications or resources which you have, that is reliability. And Microsoft Azure having that cloud characteristics, which is called reliability. Very good, everybody. Very good. Appreciate it. Very good. Very good. Very good. Fantastic, everybody. Fantastic. Now check this. Finance and expense tracking solutions. I discussed when I was talking about software as a services. If you remember, email, messaging services, finance services, tracking applications, expense tracking applications. These are all applications which is managed. SaaS. Yes, Tabassum Kadimi. Everybody's right. Very good. SaaS. Fantastic. Fantastic. Very good, everybody. And here we are completing our module number 1, and we will jump into our module number 2. Okay, let us jump into our next module. Now, very interesting module I'm going to cover, friends. And in this, I will cover Azure architectural component, which is very important for you to understand before we go for any high-end course like DP203. Compute networking, storage, identity, access, security, that we will definitely. First of all, I will talk about Azure account. So let us first of all activate your Azure account as soon as possible. And for that, I have to copy these names in my Excel sheet. Everybody created the fresh Hotmail or Outlook email ID. Could you please confirm?
Yeah, yes.
Everybody? Everybody created fresh Outlook or Hotmail email ID? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, myself, Yogesh, I'm created.
Okay, please create. Please create. Please create, everybody. Please create. It is mandatory. Please create it as soon as possible. Now, everybody see. Please listen to me very carefully. You have to open incognito browser, private browser like this. Clear? Now in the private browser, in the incognito browser, you have to first of all open Microsoft Azure pass.com. Right? Redemption process guide I am going to share with you, but please listen to me also very carefully. Now, when you open this website in incognito browser like this, you have to click on the start button to sign in using new, fresh Hotmail or Outlook or Live, any email ID which you created today. That is Microsoft recommend. After you sign in successfully, double check your email ID here, confirm that Microsoft account using this button. And here you have to actually provide that promo code which I will provide you. Clear? After you claim the promo code, double check your email ID, whether it is a new Hotmail Outlook Live email ID. Yes, then only you redeem the promo code. Otherwise, do not click on this claim button. Clear? After that, it will process your promo code. It will redirect to use sign up process where you provide your country, first name, last name, email, phone number, etc. Agree terms and condition of the subscriptions and sign up. When you sign up, automatically it will redirect you to this Microsoft Azure portal after a couple of minutes. Clear? Now, what I will recommend, I will request any one of you to share the screen and follow the steps so that everybody else in the class can follow you. Who is going to share? To save time. Hello. Who is going to share the screen so that everybody else in the class can follow you? Any participant requested to share the screen quickly, please?
Prabal, can you go ahead?
Anyone, please? Okay, Sudhakar, thank you so much. And double check. When you copy the promo code, which I will provide you in the chat window, double check your name. Right before you redeem that promo code, I request you to double check your name. If it is your promo code only, then you copy. Clear? Okay, Prabal, thank you so much for sharing the screen. Could you please open incognito browser?
Thank you, Secretary.
Yeah. Please open the incognito browser.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, I cannot see. I can see only your team screen, Microsoft Team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now?
Yes. Now type Microsoft Azure Pass.com. Microsoft Azure Pass.com. Yeah, or you can follow the redemption process guide which I provided you in chat window. No, Microsoft store name, Microsoft Azure Pass.com. It's a website without space. Okay, you can follow this, no problem. Yeah, Microsoft Azure Pass.com. Step number 1.
This one?
No, step number 1. That website is given in the step number 1.
Oh.
Yes. Very good. Now click on the start button, please. Everybody, please follow. Everybody, please follow very carefully. Sign in using fresh new Hotmail or Outlook email ID, which you have to create today, which I already requested. And I assume everybody having fresh new Hotmail or Outlook email ID for this promo code. Prabal, sign in, please.
So create one.
No. You already created, no? You have not created?
No.
My God. Okay, create the one. Blocking. So I think you are using some restricted internet from TCS. So these I requested in my lab setup instructions also. Use open internet connectivity without any restrictions, without any firewall or proxy. Otherwise, you will be not able to do any single lab of our upcoming courses. And you will lose your hands-on lab practice in the class. So as per my lab instructions, which I already sent to you, you have to use open internet connectivity without any VPN, without any company firewall proxy. Otherwise, you will be not able to do any hands-on lab in Azure Cloud.
But one query from my end, actually, I mean, Hotmail is now it is upgraded to Outlook, right?
Yeah, you can type outlook.com and then you
Yeah.
can, yeah, I can share my screen just to guide you. Give me a minute, sir.
But in
See
TCS,
here,
we can't open any Outlook or like whatever.
that is why I advise you, sir, use open internet connectivity without TCS VPN or without TCS proxy file
No,
or
no, no.
other.
It's like a TCS laptop itself. They block this proxy.
Oh, then sir, without Outlook or Hotmail account, we cannot redeem this Azure promo code for the hands-on labs. And see, when you just for your information, when you type outlook.com like this, there is a button to create account here.
Yeah. But this page itself we won't get. That Outlook dot itself they blocked.
I think that I already clear in my lab environment setup. We need open internet connectivity, right? This we already share. We need open internet connectivity without any firewall, and you should have this Microsoft Hotmail Outlook account that is already is there in my lab instructions and everything. See, we need fresh account to redeem this promo code. So I think that I cannot help internally with TCS compliances. So better you maybe use mobile data or something to create the Outlook account, and then we can save our time. Then we can go. Yeah. And again, I will request you, if you continue using these restricted laptops, sir, you will have problems in our upcoming courses, hands-on labs. Our hands-on labs need open internet connectivity without any TCS restrictions. So that you please check with your IT team. As per our lab setup instructions, you have to arrange the same. That is what. Otherwise, I cannot help you here because I am outsider of TCS. So you only internally check with your IT team how you can sort out this. Right now, to save time, I will recommend you to use your Outlook account you create from your mobile device or any smartphone device. You open the browser.
But that is also not accepting. So we created already account, but while giving user ID, so it is giving the same. Personal Outlook URL category is blocked.
Then I think then okay, I will share this promo code with you. Promo code with you, and you already have this redemption process guide. And then post training hours, when you have access of your personal computer, personal laptop, or anything, please redeem this promo code and then activate your Azure subscription. Okay. And
Yeah,
now,
yes.
right now, I will jump into my module because today I have to cover 2 more modules. So I have to jump into that. Is this fine? Let us talk about Azure architectural component, where I will cover some of the very good terminology or some component of Microsoft Azure, which everybody should before they start working on Microsoft Azure Cloud, right? Listen to me very carefully, everybody. Azure regions. Regions is actually having one or more data centers. Like India, we have 3 regions: Mumbai, Pune, Chennai. This is Singapore, Hong Kong. For example, if I talk about Southeast Asia region, this region having 3 data centers, 1, 2, and 3. Right, but these all 3 data centers are in the close proximity. So that is why that all 3 data centers are in the Southeast Asia region. Region provide you flexibility and scale to reduce your customer latency, and it preserve data residency with a comprehensive compliance offering. So region actually represent a collection of data center, provide you flexibility and scalability, preserve your data residency. Whenever you create any region in Microsoft Azure Cloud, you have to select the region which is close to your user, right? And you have to be aware of region deployment availability. And it is not like that. For all the services, you have to select the region. Many services are there which are global services that are not region dependent. They are region independent. Make sense? Like Azure Active Directory is a region independent service. So Azure having 60 plus regions across the globe, representing 140 plus countries. And for us, which we have 3 regions in India. So that is why it is a local cloud for us. Now, availability zone, like I gave you example of Southeast Asia region, if you remember, Southeast Asia region. Sorry, Southeast Asia region, South. Oh, sorry. South Asia. Southeast Asia region having 3 data center. Data center number 1, data center number 2, data center number 3. So these 3 data centers are in the separate locations, but within the same Azure region. And you can take availability set offering, which I explain you, to the next level by selecting availability zone. So availability zone means what? If you take the same example of fold domain and update domain, then here, if you take the availability zone with the 3 fold domain, then first fold domain will be in availability zone number 1. Second fold domain will be here. Third fold domain will be here. So any zone level, any data center level also failure happen or unplanned maintenance is going on, then also your instances, your workload, your resources are up and running for user traffic. Make sense? That is called availability zone. And many Azure services are actually offering you the benefit of availability zone. That is zone redundant actually. Right? But these 3 data center are actually having isolation boundary. They have independent networking, they have independent cooling capability, they have independent power supply, everything independent. But they are in the close proximity. So any of this availability zone goes down, others are continue working. And they are all connected through private dark fiber network. Even all the 60 plus regions across the globe, they are having Microsoft's dark fiber backbone network. Another, every region are in pair region, excluding one, that is Brazil. Otherwise, all the regions across the globe are in the pair region like this. So pair region separation is at least they have 300 miles of separation between these pair regions, like this, like Singapore, Hong Kong, for example, like Chennai, Pune, like this. So sometimes this region pair will help our cloud solution architect community to take benefit of the 2 regions as a primary region and secondary region. And there are some services who support automatic replication. So they use primary regions and secondary region in region pair. And whenever Microsoft also rolling out some updates and everything, they will never rolling out the updates in the region pairs together. One by one only, they will roll out the updates sequentially to minimize your downtime. So generally, those cloud solution architects, those who are taking care of backup and restore and disaster recovery or redundancy or application, they use this primary and secondary region in pair region. Other cloud are there like US government cloud, which is meeting more security and compliances for US federal agencies, for state and local government and their solution providers. So Azure government is a completely separate instance of Azure for US government only. It is completely physically isolated. You are not able to access it. It is only having accessibility only to screen and authorized person. Second, we have Azure China. Microsoft China's first foreign public cloud service provider. because of China's government regulations. And with the help of 21 ViaNet, Microsoft and 21 ViaNet together, they have physically separated instance of Azure Cloud Services operated by 21 ViaNet in China. And all the data will be stay within China only to ensure the compliances. So I just want to show you in my Microsoft Azure portal, when you open this portal.azure.com, you need Azure Active subscription. And when you have this account like Hotmail account or any of your Microsoft account like this, you should have some subscription which is associated. When you open this search bar above with the subscription, you can see I have Azure Active subscription available. You can have multiple subscriptions also possible with the same email ID. Okay, multiple subscriptions also possible. No problem. Right now, I have only one active subscription. Now here you have this dashboard. The dashboard actually you can pin your metrics charts, your alerts, your frequently used services, your resources, everything you can pin. Project wise, client wise, business unit wise, department wise, you can create multiple dashboard like this. You can upload, you can full screen, edit, share, export, clone, everything you can do with these dashboards. Right side upper corner, you have this notification icon, notification plane, right? And here in the settings, you can also set your appearances and startup use and language and everything from here, right? Left side, you have all the favorite service. Here you can search any resources, any services from here in the search bar. Whenever you want to create any resource, you can create the resource from here, like this. You have category wise services in Azure. If you click on the all services blade, you will get all the services category wise. Look at the services: analytics, compute, containers, database, DevOps, general, hybrid, multi-cloud, identity, integration, IoT, management, governance, migration, mixed reality, monitoring, networking, security, storage, web, mobile. All the services are there. And you can create also. And Microsoft also having marketplace integrated. ISVs, independent software vendors, are selling 10,000 plus services and solutions. Make sense, everybody? They are all Azure certified solutions available in marketplace. So whenever you create any service, let's say I want to create very simple storage account, for example, Microsoft Azure storage account. So when you create the resource, you must select your existing subscription, and second most important thing is resource group. You have to either create the resource group like this, or you select existing resource group from the drop down. And in resource group, you can actually deploy your resources like this. SQL DB, storage account, Cosmos DB, virtual network. You have Synapse Analytics, you have Databricks, right? You have Azure Data Lake Storage Generation 2, blah, blah, blah. So you can put these all services together into same resource group if life cycle of these services are matching with each other. And all the resources in the same resource group should be of the same environment, same client, same cost center for better management. Resource group is nothing but the logical container for all your resources. Now, what are the benefits of resource group? For example, you are working in a 50% teams. Some team member are team leader, project manager. You can make them owner of resource group. Some team member you can make a contributor of web app. You have some you can make them SQL administrator of SQL DB or contributor of SQL DB. You have some NoSQL database administrator. You can make them contributor, reader, or owner of Cosmos DB. You have some IT team member, you can make them owner, contributor, or reader, or VM operator of this VM and virtual network. You have data engineers, you can make them Synapse administrator, Synapse contributor of Synapse Analytics. Like that, you can define role-based access control. Yes or no? So when that user sign into his or her own portal, can only access that resources to whom they are allowed to access using role-based access control. Clear, everybody? Role-based access control. Yes or no?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
This is very important. That is why I'm asking again and again. Right? Apart from that, in this resource group, you can also apply certain access policies. Access policies for governance. For governance. So access policy means, let's say, you have all the 50 team member and you don't want them to deploy any resource outside South India and Central India region. You can assign policy to resource group or to subscription. So if anybody of your team member is trying to deploy some resource outside that region, they try to deploy in West Europe, South UK, Australia region, East US region, Brazil region, they will get error. You are not allowed to deploy anything because you are violating policy. Or let's say you only want to allow somebody to create a virtual machine with a 2 CPU core and 3.5 GB RAM on your specific VM size. Or you want to allow, or you want your team member to follow certain governance, certain standards, certain policies. So different lot of set of policies are available that you can apply on top of resource group so that your team member in the cloud engineering team, cloud architecture team, cloud admin team, cloud developer team, data engineering team cannot violate any governance of your company or your client. So at resource group level, you can apply access policies. This is another benefit. Clear? Clear, everybody?
Yeah, yes.
Third
Yes.
benefit of resource group is what? For example, you are implementing the solution for your client and you want to implement same set of resources in different environment. Dev environment, testing environment, production environment, then you can export ARM template. That is called infrastructure as a code. Infrastructure as a code. And this ARM template having JSON template, JSON file that you can redeploy to multiple Azure account and multiple Azure subscription to create a same set of resources. Declaratively. Yes or no? Clear? And every resource group wise, you can have a separate billing. You can also do tagging. You can tag extra metadata key value. You can tag each and every resource group. Each and every resource or resource group can have 50 tag, 50 metadata key value tag. Right? And you can lock your resource group as well. So this is the benefit of resource group. That is why we always have to either create the resource group, TCS demo resource group like this, or you select existing resource group like this. And then you create your storage account and region and everything, blah, blah, blah. Make sense? Now, Azure resources are component like storage, virtual machines, and networks. They are all available to build cloud solutions. Like virtual machine, storage account, virtual network, your app services to deploy your web apps, your SQL database for relational database as a service, function app is a serverless compute category. These are all different Azure resources and components are there that you can deploy from Microsoft Azure portal like this, and that resources you can search also from here like this, and then you can create the same. Apart from that, every Microsoft Azure portal having integrated cloud shell icon visible. This is called cloud shell. Listen to me very carefully, everybody. Cloud shell. Cloud shell allow you to run your Azure PowerShell command or Azure CLI. That is nothing but bash command. Make sense?
Yes.
So when you first time open the cloud shell, very first time when you open the cloud shell, it will ask you to mount one storage account which is required by cloud shell terminal. So I will click on the show advanced setting. I will create a new resource group for the cloud shell, separate resource group for the cloud shell. I will select appropriate region. I will provide a unique storage account name and file share name. Let's say I provide cloud shell Suketu 001 something, like that. Some unique storage account name you should provide. And then let's say this is my file share number 1. This is only one time process to create the storage account when you first time click on cloud shell. Second time onward, whenever you want to run PowerShell command or bash command as a Azure management tool to deploy your services, update your services, monitor your services, manage your services, or anything using PowerShell command or CLI command, you directly click on cloud shell. You will be automatically connected to terminal to run your PowerShell command or bash command. Clear? Like this. And from here, you can actually upload and download your lab supported files which you are using in this command. You can upload and download from here. Any template or any script or any file supported files which you need, that you can upload from here. Clear, everybody? And you can also switch in between PowerShell and bash if you want. PowerShell is more familiar for the Windows user. Bash Azure CLI is more familiar with the Linux users. And you can switch in between if you want, like this. And see, you are automatically connected to this terminal, or you can switch into bash like this. Yes or no, everybody? Clear?
Yes.
Right, very good. So this is your bash. I can write bash command here like this. See, Azure CLI. And I can restart this from here, and I can close this from here. Next time when I want to use Cloud Shell, again I click on the Cloud Shell icon right side upper corner here. See. Now, as I told you, resource group is a container to manage and aggregate your resources in a single unit. And at a time, only one resource or any resource can be in only one resource group. So it is not like that. The same storage account is in the resource group number 1 also. It is in resource group number 2 also. Not possible. It can exist in only one resource group. Right? And one resource group can have resources which is in a different region. No problem. And you can move the resources between the resource group if you require. Subscription, as I told you, one Azure account like Outlook, Hotmail, Live, right? They can have multiple subscriptions. Dev subscription, test subscription, production subscriptions, multiple subscriptions. And subscription providing you authenticated, authorized access to your Azure account. It is one kind of billing boundary. It is one kind of access control boundary for you, for your all the users. Because when you are subscribing to any subscription and you create Azure, you open Azure Active Directory, you will get default Azure Active Directory with a unique primary domain name like this, .onmicrosoft.com. And you can have all the users of this primary domain, which is your Azure Active Directory user. Make sense? So for example, we are 20% team. We all 20% team can be a part of this default directory, this particular tenant or this particular primary domain like this. Visible? Like this. Like this. See? So this is subscription. Now there is one more concept which is called management group. What is management group? Management group is actually one layer above than subscription. And one management group can have multiple subscriptions. You can manage multiple subscriptions. So whatever the conditions which you apply, whatever the policy which you apply, whatever the role-based access control definitions you apply, whatever the ARM template you apply in the management group, everybody will inherit the same. Every child subscriptions and the resource groups and the resources will inherit the same. Make sense, everybody? So generally, those enterprises having multiple subscriptions, like TCS having multiple enterprise agreement subscriptions with Microsoft, TCS having a lot of dev test subscriptions, TCS having a lot of MSDN subscriptions, TCS having pay-as-you-go subscriptions, TCS having free trial subscriptions, TCS having Visual Studio Enterprise subscriptions. That all multiple subscriptions, if you want to manage under one management group for governance, for standards, for compliances, you can use management group. It is a logical entity to organize all the subscriptions and resource groups and resources in an organized manner. Make sense, everybody? Yes or no?
Yes.
Clear? Conceptually, it is clear, right? Now, let me show you by creating some resource. I will create resource. Listen to me very carefully. Let's say I will create a virtual machine. This is infrastructure as a service. What you will create? I want new resource group, TCS resource group. What is your VM name? TCS VM01. Right? Which region you want this? East Asia region. Right? What is the operating system image you want? You can select Windows Server 2022. Right? What size of the VM you need? Multiple size VM available in East Asia region. You can select all the size of the VM. See, huge list available. General purpose, compute optimized, memory optimized, storage optimized, GPU series machine, graphical processing unit machine, high performance compute machines, 1 core machine, 2 core machine, 4 core machine, 8 core machine, 16 core machine, 32 core machine. Different VM sizes are available. You can select any one of that as per your requirement. Set your username and password like this of your VM. Remember the username and password like this. And every Windows VM RDP port should be allowed to remotely connect to this VM 3389. Now you go to next button. You have to configure your disk. Let it be a default premium disk, premium storage. Networking you want to create. You want to create your own virtual network. Yes, you can create your own virtual network, your own subnet like this. Let's say this is TCS training VNet number 1. And CIDR IP addressing scheme you have to provide. Class less interdomain IP addressing scheme you have to provide like this. And then you provide CIDR value. CIDR value like this. 16 is a CIDR value. So when you create this VNet with this address range, out of 32-bit, initial 16-bit are for network ID, last 16-bit are for host ID. 2⁻16. How many private IPs are available? How many private IPs are available? 2⁻16. 65,536. In that you create one subnet. I am creating one subnet. 10.0.0.0/24. So last 8 bits are only for host ID. 2⁻8. How many IPs are available in this subnet? 256 only. So out of this 65,000 plus, you have only 256 in this subnet. Clear? Clear?
Yes.
And you have public IP to this VM also. Public IP. Right? You can simply review and create this virtual machine.
But there is a cost involvement, right, in this? Because
Of
since we
course.
selected the resource.
Of course, I have 10 rupees per hour. This is my virtual machine cost of standard D2S V3 size by Microsoft. So if you want to check the costing also, you can go always to azure.microsoft.com website. There is free pricing calculator available. You can always calculate your estimated hourly or monthly costing by using this calculator like this. Visible?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sharing that in chat window just for your reference. Clear? And I started deployment of this virtual machine. See? And when I deploy this virtual machine, I can connect that VM. I can connect to that virtual machine remotely. Remotely, I can connect. Deployment is going on. It will not take much time. Yeah. Now, when I open the resource group, TCS resource group, you see all my resources are available here, including my VNet, my VM, my public IP of my VM, my network security group firewall, my network interface card, my operating system disk storage, all. I can open this VM. I can download connect button, download RDP file. Click on that RDP file from your local machine. RDP port should be open. That is why you have to use open and open a virtual machine without any restrictions. Right? You enter your username and password of your TCS VM. You log into that username password of the TCS VM which you created, in your Azure portal, and then you are connected to VMC remotely. And you can make it web server, file server, data server, DNS server, any server or any workload, any application which you deploy. You can use this infrastructure as a service. This is called infrastructure as a service. And this particular virtual machine having firewall, a network security group is also associated. That you can also add security rules to allow and deny this traffic as per your requirement. Right? And if you want to change the size of the VM, you can always change the size of the VM from here. That option called scale up. This option is called vertical scale up. And I'm remotely connected to this virtual machine. See? Like that, I can deploy, I can provision the services, I can provision these resources. Okay. All right. And after completion of your demonstration or after completion of your each practical, to save your money, to save your costing, always come to resource group, delete your entire resource group along with all the resources. Yes or no? Like this. Unwanted resource groups, when you are completing your practical, your exercise, your hands-on lab and everything, please do not forget to delete that entire resource group to save your money. This is best practice.
But this is
Like
as per
that,
usage only, right? So
uses, yeah, uses. See, right now we are learning. So after we learn each practical, we have to keep deleting the resources to make our subscription free and to save our $100 money for 1 month.
no, the question is like if you won't use that resource group, then how they will charge? Like this is as per usage only, right?
No, this is infrastructure as a service. So infrastructure as a service, whether you use this VM or not use the VM, you are only gonna pay for that. But if you stop the VM from this button, then your resources will be deallocated and you are not going to pay for that. But if it is keep running, then you are going to pay for that.
So instead of deleting the better, we can stop. So no need to create
Yeah,
again.
we can stop. Yeah, we can stop it. Yes, definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
But in our subscription, it is a restricted subscription. So better we free our subscription limitations.
Okay.
But in real time enterprise subscription, you can keep it, no problem. So there are many services comes under compute category. VM, even your function app, that also comes under compute category. Container instances, Azure Kubernetes service, Azure virtual desktops. These are all compute category product from Microsoft. So VM is a best example of infrastructure as a service, right? And it includes virtual processor, memory, storage, networking, like I demonstrated. And this EAS offering providing you total control and customization. You can use this for development machine, testing machine applications you can deploy in cloud. You can also use extended data center by hybrid networking, like site-to-site connectivity, express route connectivity, different hybrid networking you can implement with your on-premises data center to your Azure virtual machines and virtual network. Also, VM having one auto scaling option. Microsoft providing you one service which will auto scale out depend on your metric rule or depend on the schedule, like this. Automatically, it will manage your scale out and scale in capability by auto scaling rule, auto scaling rules. Rules you can define either on metric or you can schedule the same time wise. Clear? So skill set, VM skill set is providing you load balance opportunity to automatically scale your resources. And as I explained to you, you can achieve availability set. You can achieve availability set by defining fault domain and update domain in Microsoft Azure. Azure Virtual Desktop is also desktop and app virtualization service from Microsoft. Desktop and app virtualization, which is running on Azure Cloud. So you can run your Azure Virtual Desktop on Azure. You can set up multi-session Windows 11, Windows 10 deployment that will deliver full Windows experience with scalability to your team members. True multi-session deployment possible. Another, we have Azure Container Services for modern cloud applications. Those developer, how many of you are from development background? How many of you are developers? So if you are a developer, you are implementing some websites, right, on the container engine, and you write some Docker file, and you build this entire image. You are building it, build this image, and you are making it container image. Container image. That image you actually push to some repository. Some repository you are pushing it. And from here, you can actually deploy that container applications. So Microsoft Azure having the services called Azure Container Instance and Azure Kubernetes Service to deploy your container applications, modern cloud applications, microservices applications. Make sense? So container is nothing but it is a very lightweight virtualized environment that does not require any operating system management and that can respond to changes on demand. It is very lightweight that you can deploy in the services which is there in Microsoft Azure. Very powerful service we have in Azure, which is actually comes under serverless category, serverless compute category, or I can say consumption based model. Consumption based model, which I explained you today morning, if you remember. So where you write your code, write your logic in multiple multi-programming languages available, and let Microsoft actually execute this function on basis of different trigger. Different trigger. You remember which example I gave you today morning? Somebody is uploading some invoice in the blob storage container. Blob storage trigger will execute your function. That example is remember? Yes or no?
Yeah, yes, storage event trigger.
So when something trigger your function, function will get execute that particular code and it will perform some business logic accordingly. You are not going to take care of VM, app service, infrastructure, OS, networking, nothing. It's a managed service. You focus on your logic, business logic, your code, and let Microsoft take care of your scalability, your infra, your environment, your runtime environment, middleware, everything for you, including scalability will be taken care by Azure. It will automatically, dynamically add the resources as per the requirement. This is called Azure Functions for modern cloud applications. Another, if you compare this, VM is a cloud-based servers. Virtual desktop is actually virtualized personal computer. It will show you, it will give you virtualized desktop environment, Windows desktop experience. And container is to deploy your lightweight miniature environment, which is called container images. And they can run as a microservices. VM, you can always scale up, right? But in virtual desktop, dedicated applications, you have to connect, you have to use it, and you have to access from any modern browser by your users. Scalability taken care by Microsoft.
Server Azure Functions comes under
serverless compute. Serverless compute.
I mean serverless compute, and I mean it is a platform as a service.
Serverless computing is not IaaS, PaaS or SaaS. It is comes under separate category called serverless. And serverless computing is actually evolution of cloud platform in the direction of pure cloud native code. Because serverless actually bring your developer closer to business logic, right? And they should not focus any infrastructure, runtime, middleware, updates, patches, nothing. Scalability even will be taken care by Microsoft. You are not going to configure any auto scaling also. Everything is taken care by cloud service provider. It is called serverless.
Okay, I mean it's not comes under any services. No. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
It's a different cloud model. And Azure App Services is actually great example of platform as a service. It is a fully managed platform to build and deploy and scale your web apps or APIs quickly. You have websites, web applications in .NET, .NET Core, Node.js, Java, PHP, Ruby, Go, any programming languages. Your VM also taken care by Azure, OS also taken care by Azure, runtime stack, your .NET framework, anything you want, any middleware you want, right? That all taken care by Azure. You just focus on your application and deploy that application on Azure cloud. And if you want, you can configure auto scaling. Azure Web App Service also supporting auto scaling. It will also add instances as per your requirement like this. Depend on the schedule or depend on the threshold rule, like CPU percentage or anything like that. Clear? Clear, everybody?
Yeah.
Like that, as I told you, you can also create your own virtual network by defining CIDR IP address range, CIDR, like 10.0.0.0/16. And in that you create one subnet, like I created, if you remember, like 24. So within that VNet, you create the subnet and then you deploy your virtual machine. This is your VNet IP address range. This is your subnet IP address range. And every VM having private IP like 10.0.0.4. This is the private IP. Private IP like this. Clear? And every virtual network, will allow you to communicate with each other also and with internet also. Or if you have on-premises network, you can have a hybrid connectivity between these two, called side-to-side connectivity, express route connectivity to your on-premises network. in your Bombay or Hyderabad or Bangalore or Pune, you have on-premises data center or local network or branch offices, you can have a hybrid networking. Clear? Another, as I told you, there is one more service called VPN gateway. And this VPN gateway will allow you to establish this side-to-side connectivity tunnel between Azure virtual network and your on-premises local site. And this gateway will encrypt all your traffic over IP security protocol tunnel. And it is using internet medium actually. But if you remember, today morning I told you about express route. Express route provider like Tata, Airtel, Vodafone, Verizon, AT&T. Yes or no? So that express route connectivity will provide you to have dedicated tunnel between your Azure VPN gateway and local site using express route connectivity provider. Up to 100 Gbps tunnel is possible in express route and without internet traffic. There is no internet medium comes. It's a dedicated tunnel. Yes or no? Any question here?
So Suketu, should that tunnel communicating between the VPN to the target site?
Yes. So this is your on-premises data center. This is Microsoft's VNet services. So you need a VPN gateway here to establish connectivity between your on-premises local data center or private cloud to Azure virtual network. This is express route. And express route allow you to access not only infrastructure services, not only manage platform as a services, but even SaaS and other Microsoft 365 services also. You can have hybrid connectivity between your on-premises and Azure. But here you have to select provider. Vodafone, AT&T, Tata Communication, Verizon, Airtel, like that. Any connectivity provider you can select. And accordingly, you have to pay for that uses. And from 50 Mbps to 100 Gbps, any tunnel you can select as per your requirement. Most important, primary workload of Microsoft is storage account. When you create any storage account in your Microsoft Azure portal like this, you can select new resource group. And you should provide some unique storage account name. Some unique storage account name. Select your region, select your performance. If you go for standard, it is a mechanical hard disk drive. If it is premium, it is solid state drive, SSD. Right? And when you create this storage account like this in your Azure account, any general purpose version 2 storage account when you create, this is your general purpose version 2 storage account. Standard storage account. And standard always comes general purpose version 2 storage account. So when you create the storage account, every storage having 4 services. One is called blob, one is called table, one is called files, one is called queue. Let me show you that. And when you open the storage account, you will get 4 services. One is called blob, that is called binary large object data. One is called file, it is network file share service. This is inter-application messaging service. And table is a NoSQL table. 4 services you will get. Here in blob storage, you can store any binary or text data, or any data like CSV, Parquet, Evro, like TXT, like for any images, videos, audios, database backup, LDF, MDF, backpack, any file you can store as an object. Clear? And every storage account having 4 REST API. One for blob, one for table, one for file, one for queue. HTTP, HTTPS protocol. Right? So this is the blob storage. And when you create blob storage, you must create container. I have to create container. Let's say I'm creating photo container. Right now, I want no anonymous access allowed, private container. Okay, create the private container. Now in this container, let's say I am uploading some blob. I'm uploading some image like this. When you upload this image, you copy entire URL like this, storage account.blob.co.windows.net, container name and blob name. You try to expose this content publicly or HTTP, not allowed. Why? Because it is private. So when you make it public accessible, anonymous read access available, accessible, you change access level, and then you try to expose this content publicly over HTTP, you can expose this content publicly over HTTP. And every storage account having access key, connection string, and primary key and secondary key like this from the access key menu. Visible, everybody? This is your connection strings. You can rotate the key also if you need. If it is compromised, you can rotate. Yes or no? And every storage account having replication options. If it is local redundant storage, then in the same data center, it will maintain 3 copies of the data. 3 copy. But if it is geo redundant storage, then 3 copy in primary region, 3 more copy you will have in secondary region. Or if you have ZRS, zone redundant storage, then 1 copy in one data center, 2nd copy in 2nd data center, 3rd copy in 3rd data center. That is called zone redundant storage. And zero zone redundant means you will have a 3 copy zone redundance, 3 more copy you will have in secondary region, total 6 copies. So like that, you have different redundancy configuration options also available, LRS, ZRS, GRS like this. For replication, for redundancy. And as I told you, you can use this storage for blob container, blob storage, for unstructured data, for semi-structured data, for text data, for binary data, and also every virtual machine using your disk storage for operating system drive, operating system disk, for temporary disk, for data disk, every VM using this disk storage. Visible?
So what is the meaning of durability here then?
Durability means SLA, service level agreement. SLA, service level agreement. Right? For example, 99.99999% your storage will be available. That is called durability.
But
service level agreement.
Availability, right?
Availability.
Yeah, but SLA is different.
SLA is actually comes under that only. SLA, it comes under durability only. SLA means service level agreement. What is a service level agreement? How many 9 you have? 99.99999. That is your SLA. There is a service level agreement from the cloud computing provider. SLA. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so this is SLA. All right, very good. Now, every storage account having this 4 REST API, one for blob, one for file, one for queue, one for table. This service I will cover in our DP 900 session because it is Azure Data Engineering Service. It is actually hierarchical namespace. It is actually data lake storage on Azure that I will cover in our upcoming courses, in our data engineering courses. And every Azure storage account having different access tier. Default one is a hot. Default one is hot. And it is optimized for storing data that is accessing frequently. So if you want to access data frequently, put it that in the hot. If you are accessing data less frequently, convert your data into cool access tier, and here your storage cost is a cheaper compared to hot, but transaction cost is higher. And archive is completely offline. If you want to store data for long term, here cheapest storage cost available, but transaction cost is super high. And you have to tolerate several hours of retrieval latency. Once in a 3 year, once in a 5 year, once in a 10 year, if you want to get that data, put it in the archive for long time storage. Make sense, everybody? And that is what I shown you by creating the storage account and blob container. Another very interesting service available in Microsoft Azure Cloud, which is actually Azure Migrate service. Azure Migrate service. So this Azure Migrate service will actually allow you, or it will help you to migrate from your on-premises environment to the cloud. And this Azure Migrate Hub will help you to manage your assessment and migration of your on-premises data center to Azure. You will get unified migration platform. You will get a range of tools to migrate this many items from on-premises. Assessment and migration both integrated. This is the service called Azure Migrate. Another, we have Azure Data Box is a physical migration service. If you have large amount of data, you want to quick, inexpensive, reliable way you want to send there, you can use Data Box. Data Box will be transported to and from your data center via your regional center in the shipping truck. Make sense? So you can order Data Box device via Azure portal to import or export your data from the Azure. And once your device is received, you can quickly set it up using the local web UI and connect it to your network. Other file management options are available in Azure, like Easy Copy is a simple command line tool. Command line utility to copy or move your data to and from storage account or storage to storage file transfer. Microsoft Azure also having Storage Explorer, which is free tool available, storageexplorer.com. And once you open the Storage Explorer, you can download the Storage Explorer to explore all your blob, table, file, queue, that all you can explore here like this. So this is, I'm just sending you just for your reference in the chat window. This is Storage Explorer. And one more service, which is Azure File Sync. syncing of your Azure and on-premises files in a bi-directional method. On-premises and cloud. File syncing. Azure file share syncing of your network file share. Like this. Bi-directional. For identity and access management, Azure Active Directory comes into the picture. And as I shown you Azure Active Directory today morning, if you remember, Azure Active Directory is Microsoft's identity and access management service. And when you subscribe to Azure, you will get default tenant ID, default primary domain. Right? Or if you want to add another tenant, you can add a dedicated trusted instance of Azure AD from this settings. And each tenant represent organization like TCS, like Deloitte, like Adobe, Boeing, Synchron, IBM, like this. So right now I have default directory, default tenant. I have all my users and everything here. I can create the user. I can invite the user from here, or I can sync on-premises Windows AD user to Azure Active Directory using hybrid identity. Make sense, everybody? Apart from that, you can have a single sign-on, single identity, application management, B2B collaboration, device management. That all features are available in Azure Active Directory. And even if you have on-premises Active Directory, right? And you want to use your on-premises legacy applications and legacy authentication protocol in Azure, you can sync this on-premises Windows AD to Azure Active Directory, and existing Active Directory domain services you can use in Azure as well. That will allow you to sync your on-premises users and everything to Azure Active Directory, and it will support your traditional authentication protocol like LDAP, like Kerberos, like NTLM authentication, traditional one. So that benefit is also there by implementing hybrid identity. And basically, every Azure Active Directory is having these two authentication authorization primary services. It's an identity and access management service. Authentication, authorization. Authentication, whether that public or personal service, you're allowed them to seeking that particular access of the resource. And what amount of access you are allowing. What he or she can do, what he or she cannot do, what he or she cannot access or access, that is authorization. And all the users which is there in Azure Active Directory, that all the users, you can also enable multi-factor authentication for them. Multi-factor authentication, MFA, multi-factor authentication like this. Either you use OTP or Microsoft Authentication app or any device or any smart card, right? Or any voice call or office phone, or multiple different authentication methods are available, which you can implement in multi-factor authentication for your user. And Azure Active Directory providing you B2B collaboration. Your third-party partner, vendor, supplier can also collaborate to your resources. They can also access your resources using Azure Active Directory B2B. You can invite them. You can invite them. And B2C also there. B2C means you can publish modern SaaS applications or custom developed applications to consumers and customers, and they can use Azure AD B2C for identity and access management. They can sign up and sign in your resources using their own Amazon ID or Google ID or Twitter ID or LinkedIn ID. External organization will take care of authentication for them. And you can share the resources which you want to share with them. So that is also available in Azure AD. Conditional access also available in Azure Active Directory. Azure Active Directory will check every signal of your user, location, device, application, everything. And if it is genuine, then only they will allow to access application and data. Otherwise, they will block the access. It will make decision. It will enforce organizational policy. That is called conditional access. It will verify every access attempt. And as I already explained to you, role-based access control, fine-grained access management. You want to make somebody of any resource you have, for example, and you want to make somebody owner, contributor, reader, you can go to access control menu of that resource and you can always add a role assignment. What role you want to assign to that? You can search built-in roles. Like you want to make somebody storage block data owner, data reader, delegator, file block, contributor, reader, blah, 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 blah. Any role which allow restricted, limited permissions, you can assign somebody this particular role and you can select that particular user or group of Azure Active Directory to whom you are making storage data blob owner. This is called role-based access control. And Microsoft having zero trust policy. It will protect your assets anywhere with a central policy using this defense in depth approach. Defense in depth approach. It's a layered security, starting from physical, identity, access management, perimeter, network, compute, application, data, all layer security. So if you have any attack on the any one layer, are isolated from subsequent layer. It's a defense in depth approach from Microsoft. It is protecting your information and prevent it from being stolen by those who are not authorized to access it. It's a series of mechanisms to slow your advance of an attack, that is actually want to acquire unauthorized access of your data. Data layer controlling access to your business and consumer data that you need to protect. Clear, everybody? Now, here, I will talk about some cost management, governance, compliance, resource deployment tool, monitoring tool, which is the concept which is very much required when you are learning Microsoft Azure and when you start implementing any data engineering solutions on Microsoft Azure, right? The first thing, factors which is affecting costing that you should take care. There are three factors actually which is affecting costing. Number one is a cost which is associated is resource type, because costing is specifically depend on the resource type. So what resource type you are selecting or what resource type you are creating in Microsoft Azure portal, you are provisioning accordingly to track that billing, that number of meters will be associated to that resource, depending on the resource type actually. Second thing, consumption. With the pay-as-you-go model, consumption is one of the biggest drivers of cost. So depending on the service which you're creating, let's say you create virtual machine. So in virtual machine, basically two type of costing are there, just to understand. One is your compute cost. Second one is your storage cost. Compute cost, you can definitely stop your VM. You are not going to pay for that. But storage cost you have to pay until you are using that storage to store your data in your operating system drive or your data disk drive of your virtual machine. So depending on the resource, you have to always go through and check the costing, the pay-as-you-go model, how it is applicable, and if possible, always go for consumption-based model, which is a true pay-as-you-go model. Third, maintenance. Monitoring your Azure footprint and maintaining your environment can also help you to identify and mitigate your cost. That are not necessary, but like if you are not using virtual machines, better you shut down it, better you stop it. For example, you are using some dedicated SQL pool in your Synapse Studio. So there is option to pause your dedicated SQL pool. When you pause, you're not gonna pay. You're not paying. Like Databricks also having cluster that you can terminate if they are not in use. Or auto stop options are also there in some of the services that also you have to take benefit of that. Or even you can use automation. Like Azure VM also having auto shutdown capability. You can schedule to be after 8 PM, after 9 PM, it will automatically stop your VMs and it will save your overnight costing, which is anybody is not using your VMs, for example. Now, fourth item is a geography. Resource you are deploying in which geography, in which region, there also costing is different. So if it is not very much required for you to deploy that resources with a specific region or with the specific user specific region, then always check for the geographies and region which is having less costing compared. Another factor which is affecting cost, network traffic. Some inbound data is always free, but there is a cost for outbound data or data between your Azure resources is impacting your billing zones. That is applicable. Outbound data transfer is applicable. Or for example, you have express route connectivity. So if you are having data which is coming from your VNet to on-premises, that is your outbound transfer, that is definitely billable. Or even for example, storage account. When you are performing any read-write operations on the storage, costing is applicable. Cosmos DB, which is very popular service, Azure Cosmos DB. RU, request unit per second, is in Cosmos DB. So whatever the read operations and write operations happening, you are going to pay for that. And of course, subscription. The type and configuration of your subscription can also impact your costing. Depending on the subscriptions, you have different billing also, different budget or different bargaining also. For example, TCS having enterprise agreement with Microsoft, they have different costing than other companies. Or free trial account or sponsorship account or dev test account, depend on the subscriptions, there is a separate costing will be applicable according to you, according to your subscription. So these are the factors which you have to take care. Another, Microsoft having marketplace. Customers can find, try, purchase, provision, application services from independent service provider, independent software vendors. They are all selling solutions from here. Marketplace. They are all selling the solutions like this. See, 10,000 plus solutions and services are available in Azure Marketplace by different independent software vendors and service providers. See, huge list of marketplace items are available. Visible. 2,200 plus security offerings are available. See. So marketplace is always integrated and marketplace always having Azure certified solutions. Always having Azure certified solutions. See. Look at the databases. 9,950 databases offerings are available. Look at this. relational, NoSQL, blockchain database, data lake, data warehouse. Look at this. All databases. You can just click see more and you will get all the options available in marketplace. Visible? So you can connect to your end users with Microsoft partners, independent software vendors, startups. They're all offering solutions and services for Azure. An Azure customer IT professional cloud developer can find, try, purchase, provision Azure applications and services from this many certified service providers. As I already shared with you, Azure pricing calculator. An Azure pricing calculator you can always get from your Azure website. And this is actually best place to estimate your solution, Azure cloud solution tentative costing. Let's say, for example, I have app service. I have Linux app service in the standard pricing tier. Okay, this is the standard pricing tier I'm selecting. What will be your costing? You can also select the currency. Let's say in India. Monthly costing, upfront costing, any support plans you want to take, support plan costing, everything you can estimate here. You can export, save, share, everything you can do from it. All services, you can just check all the services, which you can check in the Azure pricing calculator. See. And there is another calculator, total cost of ownership calculator. That also I want to show you. Total cost of ownership calculator. This total cost of ownership calculator will help you to estimate the cost saving that you can realize by migrating your on-premises workload to Microsoft Azure Cloud. You can define your workload which is available on premises like this. You can adjust all your exceptions and everything, and you will get all detailed report, comparative study or comparative reports, which will help you to understand how you can save your costing if you are migrating your on-premises workload to Azure. That is called total cost of ownership calculator. And that also I want to share with you in chat window, just with the participants. Azure having cost management. It is providing you the ability to quickly check Azure resources, Azure resource cost. You can create alert. You can also create budget. Then that can be automate management of your resources. Everything you can do using this. Cost analysis, alerting, recommendations, all detailed cost management offerings and options are available in Microsoft Azure. You can use this cost analysis to explore, analyze all the organizational costs that you can view aggregated cost by organizations to understand, where the costs are required and how you can identify that all the spending trends and everything. Tagging, every resource group or every resource can have tagging like this. You can locally organize your resources in taxonomy. It is a simple key value pair like this. And when you export all the reports in CSV, you have thousands of resources. You can actually rolling up all your billing information and you can segregate all the information you tag wise. And each resource group or resource can have 50 tags. 50 tags you can associate maximum. It's providing you metadata for your Azure services, for resource management, for cost management, for operation management. You can use this Azure tagging, tag, extra metadata, key value pair. Because when your cloud usage is growing, it is increasingly improving to stay organized. And good organization strategy always help you to understand your cloud uses, and that can help you to manage your costing. That we should not forget. To manage everything using the stacking. Another, for governance and compliance, Microsoft Azure having one service called Azure Blueprint. And this Azure Blueprint help you to develop, some prototype, some blueprint model, so that, for example, let's say you have one management group. Under management group, under that you have subscription, or you have another management group, and under that you have subscription like this. Subscription 1, subscription 2. Here also you have subscription 3. Here also you have some resource groups and all the resources like this. So when you create the blueprint will have your ARM template, which is nothing but your infrastructure as a code, what you want to deploy. Then your role-based access control, then your access policies, and your resource group information. In which resource group you want to deploy this. You can bundle these 4 items into blueprint, and this blueprint you can apply at this management group. So accordingly, all the resources will be deployed, all the access control will be done, all the access policies will be applied, and at a time, your entire blueprint will be implemented in your Azure. They can quickly build and trust through organizational compliances with a set of built-in components. And they will help you to speed up your development and delivery, like your rule assignment, policy assignment, ARM template, resource group, everything together. So blueprint also will help you to do the same. And every Azure administrators are applying different set of policies. In which region you want your team member to deploy resources? Which pricing tier you want to allow? You want to enforce tagging to the deployment of resources? What resources they can deploy, they cannot deploy. Every policies are available. Lot of built-in policies are available. Lot of built-in policies are available that you can bundle together and you can apply like this. Policy definitions. For governance, for compliance. See, all the definitions are available here, like this. Resource wise, category wise, you can have all this policy definition. They are all built-in available. Category wise, resources wise. You can also find out, search all policies for managing entire compliances and governance for your cloud workload deployment among your entire team. You need these policies. This is a service that will help you to create, assign, manage policy that can control or audit your resources. It will audit your resources. How many resources are compliant? How many resources are non-compliant? Entire detailed compliance report you will get in this policies. And every resource group you can apply lock. Either you can apply delete lock or read only lock. So that anybody accidentally cannot delete or modify your resources. So locking is also available on top of resource and on top of resource group. Lock, resource lock. Makes sense, everybody? Hello.
Yeah, if in case somebody is deleted resource group, even though logging is available, but do you have any option to restore?
No, deleted resource group you cannot restore, but you can redeploy using ARM template. Because every resource group, like this is the resource group. Every resource group having export template option, which will automatically generate a JSON ARM template, which is called infrastructure as a code. And this ARM template you can download, you can add to library, add to gallery, you can update the parameters and variables, and you can redeploy entire resources of your resource group using this declarative ARM template. Visible? And this is how you can visualize the template. What exactly the resources are there inside that resource group. Look at this visualization. Visible? And you can export ARM template of this entire resource group like this. This is called infrastructure as a code. Microsoft always share service trust portal. Hello.
Means like you need to take a backup ARM template, right? Then only you can
ARM
restore.
ARM template you can actually download or you can add to your libraries.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Otherwise, once your resource group is deleted, there is no soft purging or soft deletion available here. Entire resource group level, nothing that available, only ARM template is there. Service Trust Portal, Microsoft sharing openly with everybody. Microsoft security, privacy, compliances practices openly available anytime you can check. Microsoft Azure supporting different management tool, like I demonstrated Cloud Shell if you remember. Today morning I demonstrated Cloud Shell if you remember. Or you can install locally this all SDKs and tool, including CLI, PowerShell, that all you can install local machine, local PC, local laptop. Different management tools are available, supported. I'm just sharing this with you in chat window for your reference. Azure Arc is actually to manage your hybrid and multi-cloud environment that can rapidly get complicated. And Azure actually providing you a host of tools to provision, configure, and monitor your Azure resources. And Arc actually allow you to extend your Azure compliance and monitoring to your hybrid and multi-cloud configurations. It will simplify your governance, your management consistently for your multi-cloud and on-premises management platform. You can manage your environment together, multi-cloud, hybrid VM, Kubernetes cluster, databases, which are running in Azure, all these management capabilities you can manage using Azure Arc. And every Azure portal, when you are working with resource manager. This is actually deployment and management service. So either you run PowerShell command, CLI command, portal, REST client, everything, everybody is talking to Azure Resource Manager for deployment, for provisioning, for deleting, for managing. And this will only generate your ARM template, which I showed you. ARM template. See, it's a JSON file. It's a declarative syntax. It's a repeatability. You can repeatedly deploy the infrastructure. It can be exportable. It has a built-in validation. A lot of monitoring tools available in Azure. Azure Advisor is free consultant for you, which is giving you recommendation on all these 5 factors. All recommendations for best practices and for optimization. Service health available, status you can check, health you can check, resource health you can check. It's a collection of services that will keep you informed for general Azure status, service status that may impact you. Specific resource status that is impacting you. It will give you broad picture of global health, focus view of only specific services, your actual deployed resources health, everything you can check here from the service health. Azure Monitor is very powerful. This will help you to perform many different monitoring operations on top of your collected data from different infra, Azure platform, custom sources, or any workload which is deployed in Azure. It will populate all this metric, log, traces, all this data platform. And then you can have an application inside, VM inside, container inside, visualization, analyze, respond, integrate, all different monitoring offerings available in Azure Monitor. Your availability, performance of applications, collecting all the telemetry, logging, metrics, log analytics, smart alert, actions, notifications, everything available under Azure Monitor. Azure Monitor will look like this when you click on the all resources and you search for the monitor. Here you will have your all Azure Monitor. You will have your metric explorer. You have alert, log, like this. You can have a different metric explorer, charts, and everything you can create. VM inside, application inside, storage inside, container inside, network inside, SQL inside, all different insights available. Diagnostics logging, diagnostic settings, alert, notifications, actions, all comes under Azure Monitor. Any question for me, everybody? Hope everything is clear. Means whatever I'm explaining, showing you, discussing with you, explaining with you is clear.
So Suketu, by alerts, what type of alerts you are referring?
See, you can create different action group and different type of notifications available. Different notifications available. Or if you don't want any of this type of notifications, you can define different actions. You want to execute any automation runbook, you want to execute any code in the function, you want to collect that all the data in Event Hub for third-party monitoring, or you want to send the data for ITSM, for logic apps, you want to trigger some workflow, which is orchestrated workflow like this, or you want to integrate any messaging channel like Slack, like Teams, okay, like Skype, for example. Ebook integration also possible. Different notification, different actions can be triggered when this alert rule satisfies. Whatever the condition which is specified, that satisfies. Different all your alert, all action group, all alert rule or alert processing rule, everything you can manage centrally here. Hello. Any question for me? An application inside is also there, which is also there for your application telemetry data. It will collect all your application data on Azure Monitor. How your user are accessing that application, how your application performance monitoring is there, that you can do using applications. And let's say I have virtual machines. So every virtual machine also having integrated monitoring menu like this. Monitoring menu, where you can configure all diagnostic settings. You want to collect all different logs. You can collect all different logs like this. All performance counters, logs, event tracing, everything you can configure from here. See. And here you can see your Azure Advisor. This is your Azure Advisor for all different recommendations for cost, for security, for reliability, for operational excellence, performance, everything. This is your personal consultant. Right? I have some recommendations for reliability. Or for costing. For security. And also I have service health. Here is my service health. Any service issue anywhere across the globe. See, any plant maintenance, any health advice, that all you can have from here. Health history, resource health. See, there was a global issue last month. Resource health. Resource type wise, do you have any health issues? Health alert, everything you can manage from here, check from here. And this is your cost management. Your cost management. So in some subscription, not detail will come, but in our enterprise agreement subscriptions, it will come. Cost analysis, budget, recommendations, invoices, payment methods, subscriptions, reservations. You can reserve the resources for 1 year, 3 year, you can save 70% money. You can use your existing licenses, you can take hybrid benefit, you can save for 50% money. Detailed cost analysis available here. Like this. Resources wise and everything, daily costing and everything. Budget, cost alert, everything you can manage from here.
In case my subscription expires, for example, like I mean TCS subscription expires, in that scenario, like I mean a new subscription they are planning. In such scenario, is it possible to transfer all the resource groups into another new subscription?
Yeah, there is no shortcut. You just click on the one click and then transfer. No, you have to plan that migration. Means you have to export all ERM template. Then Microsoft also allow you certain number of days to move your data. 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, depend. That validity period it will give you. Before that, you just have to transfer all your storage data, your SQL DB data, or any other database data. And for infrastructure redeployment, ERM template is the best way. You can export the ERM template and you can redeploy the ERM template in another subscription. So specific services wise, you have to plan that particular shifting of the subscription actually.
I mean, like in one of the project scenario is happened. That's why I'm asking actually.
Yeah. So that is depend. What resources they have, storage account they have, then why not you use easy copy? So easy copy is actually utilities which will transfer your all the data, storage data, from one storage account to another storage account in another subscription, like this. So that is depend, on the specific topic wise, what is specific resources wise, there are multiple options available to copy data from one subscription to another subscription. But the best way to redeploy entire solution and resources is ERM template. As it is, you can redeploy this to another subscription. That is called ERM template, which I showed you already.
Yeah, but I mean storage you said, I mean using agent copy from one storage to another storage, they are charging. I mean
no, easy copy is free.
Okay,
easy copy is actually your command line utility actually. I don't know, it is not coming. Easy copy, yeah. Easy copy is command line utility from storage account. You can shift and it is available free. Or you can build some pipeline, Azure Data Factory pipeline or Synapse pipeline. That different options are available. Storage Explorer is there. Cosmos DB Explorer is there. Different options. In a SQL DB, you can export the backpack file, and that you can import the backpack files in SQL DB. .backpack file, MDF file, LDF file. Depend on that solutions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. And hope everybody enjoyed whatever I covered. Now I have quick knowledge check for everybody. I want you to quickly answer the same. Metadata, metadata, metadata. What is the answer?
Tags.
Of course. Absolutely right. Tag is the correct answer. Very good. Now check this. Very good, very good, very good. Fantastic, fantastic. Very good, very good, very good. Appreciated, appreciated. Now check this. Multi-cloud, hybrid environment, on-premises environment. There is nothing like Cloud Manager, my friend. There is nothing like Cloud Manager. I covered one presentation slide called Azure Arc, if you remember. Rakesh, Rushikesh, Mayuk is right, Isha is right, absolutely right. It is Azure Arc. Very good. Now check this. Infrastructure is a code deployment. Very good. ARM template is infrastructure is a code that I told you 3, 4, 5 times, right? I shown you. Very good. Appreciated. Very good. Azure Advisor having recommendations of 5 items. Which are they, or which one is not there? Cost, capacity, reliability. Which one is not applicable? Absolutely right. Vasu, Vasudha, Isha, Kadimi. Very good, very good, very good. Payal, Gautam, Gavali, Yogesh, everybody is right. Fantastic. Resource health, everybody. Prabal is right, Payal is right, Gautam Kumar is right. Very good. Pavan is right, Kadimi is right, Tabassum is right. Very nice, very nice. Resource health will share that give you that information whether your application is impacted or not. Fantastic, everybody. Appreciated. And most of the answers are correct. That is the fantastic thing. That means whatever I'm teaching, whatever I'm discussing, whatever I'm demonstrating, that you are enjoying. Thank you so much. But now give me some time. I'm sharing some learning path with you. Give me a minute, sir. Give me a minute. Check properly. Yeah, 3 learning, sorry, not 3 module wise learning path I'm sharing. Give me a minute. Or shall I make one? I can do one thing. I can make some online notepad for you. This is fine, right? Give me a minute. I'm just arranging everything in order. I will share with you. Please go through, and if you have any questions, please let me know. But
are you sharing in chat box?
Everybody, I'm arranging in the order. Give me a minute. 1 minute, please. I'm arranging in the order. I'm making one online notepad. Okay, everybody, are you planning to go for Easy 900 certification exam? Anybody is planning? No. Okay, no problem. I have one Easy 900 exam practice assessment test that I'm sending you in chat video. Could you please open that and then just have a look?
Yes, Suketu, it required a sign in. So should we sign in through our TCS email
Yeah.
ID?
Here, no problem. Here, anything you can use your TCS ID. only sensitive matter is promo code. Azure promo code must need fresh Outlook or Hotmail account to subscribe to sign up in private browser. That is actually strongly Microsoft recommended suggestion.
So
But
here we
here,
can use, yeah.
here Gmail, Yahoo, whatever you have, your TCS ID, email ID.
Only
No
TCS
problem.
it is accepting.
Fine. No worries. All proper learning path I share with you. Now in the same online notepad, give me 5-10 minutes. I am updating some tutorial, some exercise. Whenever you get time, you can refer. Meanwhile, you can have that practice test, assessment test, which I sent you in chat window, and also refer that episode.
We are not able to access the online notepad for self-paced learning.
That is, I think, this one, no, the TCS VM, I think,
Right.
not allowing you, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So,
We can try in personal laptop then.
please, no problem.
Okay.
Whenever you get time.
Yes, okay, so the profile has been created for this and
Which one?
it's regarding the assessment. The first link is the
Ah.
900.
Oh, very good. And you can cut TV.
The profile, yeah, there is an activity like training, challenges, certification, QA, achievement, collection, and transcript.
That is your personal Microsoft Learn profile. So
Okay.
whatever the learning path you will go through, whatever the badge or trophy you will be in, whatever the certifications you will clear, everything centrally it will manage in this MS Learn profile. So it is good. Everybody should have an MS Learn profile actually.
So there is a documentation, step-by-step guidance. What is that?
Can you share your screen? I will guide you better. This is Microsoft Learning Path profile, MS Learn profile it is called.
Okay.
So right now it is completely empty, but I can share, I can show you my profile just to get idea how that look like. For example, I have my own Microsoft Learn profile. So when I sign into my account, like this in MS Learn, okay, just to show you. Sorry, like this. Okay. Now this profile will look like this. MS Learn profile will look like this, where you can actually check your profile. And this profile will have all the badges which you have, all the trophies which you have, all the points which you collected, all the training learning path which you go through, all the certification which you clear, all the certifications, your transcript for exam certifications, that all centrally it will manage like this. Transcript. So when you click on the transcript, you will see your entire transcript. Which are the certification which you have? Correct, no? Like this. See, PL 500 and EC series and SC series and DP series and all certifications which you have, that all it will maintain centrally this profile. Clear?
But Suketa, if you create new account, then how we can lose all these, right? Like, so the existing account, we have these trophies and badges.
Always you should have your permanent account. Either it is your corporate ID or your personal account. You have to keep it centrally. You have to manage using one email ID only. That is recommended. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
but
if you
unfortunately, in this particular TCS laptop, you are not allowed to use any other account. So only you have one option. You log into TCS account and then go. But whenever you are scheduling any exam in future, always schedule that exam using personal Outlook account only. Means if you left your organization also, tomorrow maybe you will join Amazon or Google or Microsoft also, you will have that all credentials with you in your personal ID. Okay. Any question now? Hello. Clear everybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
But right now for this practice test, you can use any ID and then go, no problem. So I'm managing all the tutorials and quick start tutorials and everything for you, so that whenever you get time, you can refer the same. Give me 5 minutes. I'm just updating everything for you in order, proper order. Now everybody able to access the practice assessment test and everything? Yes or no?
Yes, I have checked. I can access the practice assessment.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. So just for your reference, I'm sharing. Yeah, see here. I share this very simple online notepad, just for your reference, so that you can have everything together in the same notepad. Here you have all the self-paced Microsoft Learning path, whatever I covered. Here some very good quick start tutorials for practice I'm sharing. And I'm sharing some very good quick start for Cloud Shell, for CLI and for PowerShell, right? So these all resources, just for your reference, post-training hours, whenever you want to refer it, you can please refer this online notepad whenever you get time. Is this fine, everybody?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions.
But the thing is, we are not able to access that notepad, right? Like, so how we can copy those links?
That I cannot help you again, Gautam, because I'm not from the TCS. I'm not employee of TCS.
No. What I'm trying to say, so
But,
why can't you copy
yeah.
those links directly in the chat box?
Oh, okay. That I can do. Yeah, that I
Yeah.
can do. Yeah, that I can do directly. If you want this in the chat box, I can provide you here. All right.
Yeah, perfect.
No worries. That you can maintain this all copy locally somewhere.
Exactly. So we can store in our notepad.
No problem. No problem. That is a shortcut I can do. And I have one instruction for everybody. One most important instruction for Azure promo code redemption.
Unfortunately, we can't open YouTube as well.
Yeah.
TCS is very strict.
Yeah, TCS. No, TCS, I did 35 plus batches. But they generally, before commencement of session, they actually contact IT team and they disconnect VPN from the TCS devices, and they can able to access. They allow RDP port, they allow 1433 port, 80 port. So I think before commencement of session, we have to follow that proper lab setup instructions. So I think there is something is missing here. We have to see whenever we learn any cloud computing course. Cloud means what? We are accessing everything from internet. That is cloud. That is all about cloud. So if we are learning cloud, and if we don't have access, then finish. So unfortunately, so this, but tomorrow onward, we have DP 900 course, DP 203 course. These all courses having a lot of hands-on, honestly. So I will recommend you please talk to IT team or whatever you can do best. Use open connectivity without firewall, without proxy, without VPN. without restrictions. We need smooth internet without any restrictions so that we can smoothly do all the labs. Otherwise, in our hands-on labs, we will get a lot of different difficult errors because of this complex firewall. So that we cannot troubleshoot actually.
Exactly. And many researchers don't
Yeah.
have personal laptops as well. I think so.
So that please, I think ZaranTech tech support team is having a lot of experience working with the TCS team and everything. They suggested. So you reach out to your, I think you have to create some ticket or something. I think somebody from our ZaranTech tech support team was telling you, advising you. So you contact your IT team. There should be some option, because TCS Azure trainings is happening every day in TCS across India, across the world. Yeah, we are also delivering many other Microsoft Learning partner. Everybody is delivering trainings in TCS. So I think there should be some option available with the IT team so that you will have a smooth access of your hands-on labs and everything.
We will talk to Sarne and we will try to fix this.
Please do that. So I'm here around, and tomorrow we are meeting same time. Same time we are meeting tomorrow, right? Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Suketa.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you all tomorrow. Yeah.
Thank
See you
you.
all tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Suketu.
Thanks, Mayuk. Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.